do a handstand, but they surely did appreciate me trying.
But I don't understand. Blanche, just once, why couldn't you let your sister win?
I told you, Dorothy, jealousy is a terrible thing. That'll teach Charmaine to be Daddy's favorite.
Girls, there's only one way we're going to solve this problem.
Wake you.
Oh, God.
One at a time, Blanche. Anyway, I just wanted to say I think you're still doing a terrific job. Of course, there's some things I don't understand, like poverty. And then in the bedroom. Is that a Greek myth?
Get the door, Rose. You.
Good morning.
Well, kid, what do you want?
I don't.
That's because you're hooked on these, Rose. But, honey, there's a place for people with this kind of problem.
Please, what is she going to do in the NBA?
Rose, let us call a rehabilitation center for you.
No, I don't. People with money is how we got things done in New York. In Sicily, a car for a horse's head and put it in somebody's bed.
Sophie, you're making that up.
Like hell. Our garbage commissioner, Fredo Lombardi, went on strike once. He woke up the next morning sharing a pillow with National Velvet. I still don't understand the problem. He was wearing a dress.
My goodness, you're as cute as Dorothy said you'd be. That never happens.
Well, a lot of my ex-students were surprised that I wasn't older, but they failed to realize I started teaching right out of college. I really wasn't much older than they were.
My laundry's more fun, Rose. The only way I'll feel better about losing your earrings. Ever see panties from the 20s, Rose? They got pockets. Please, Blanche.
Oh, I don't know. I just don't feel right.
You don't feel right about it, but what about me? What about the guilt that twists deeper and deeper inside? It's the first time I ever heard anybody say I'm so mad I could scream and actually do it. It's like saying I laughed all the way to the bank. I never saw anybody do that either.
I did all this work, Rose. I worked so hard.
Every 3 people will be the victim of a violent crime.
It's awful.
And since there are 4 of you, that means at least one of you will be a victim of a violent crime. One of you right here.
And I read that 1 out of every 3... The new director's gay.
A gay theater director. Did you ever hear such a thing?
It's absolutely shocking. Next thing you know, they'll have black basketball players in the NBA. Ma, you are making lasagna Alfredo.
I love Chinese checkers much better than plain checkers. And chopsticks, what a great idea. Who knows what fork to use at a dinner party? Chopsticks, you don't feel like an idiot. Enough!
Dr. Chang, please.
Well, I think that you are sick. I think you have something...
Well, the Indian cries out from his heart. That's the worst kind of crying.
My father's a surgeon. That's physiologically impossible. How can we be drawn into the story if you're misrepresenting the facts?
Honey, it's a make-believe scheme.
I think I've got everything. Can I kiss Roy goodbye?
No,
No?
we're not going anywhere.
Give me that baby.
Proved us on that date, and wouldn't you know, we ran out of gas on exactly the same spot. And George said, Blanche, why don't you look behind that tree? So I did, and there was a basket with candles and wine and 2 long stem glasses and a big blanket.
About you. When Martha takes those pills or whatever and the life drains out of her, you're going to be in that room alone, what are you going to do, Ma? How are you going to feel?
I don't know, but I'll deal with it.
When my time comes, I sure want somebody to put...
You didn't tell them that, did you, Rose?
I didn't have a chance before I could tell them my qualifications. They told me I was too old.
Well, they can't do that. That is age discrimination. Rose, you can fight this.
What do you mean? What should I do?
Sophia, how was your date last night? Tony Del Vecchio is a dreamboat. I wouldn't mind glancing over at the night table and seeing his teeth next to mine.
Ma, please. I mean, it's probably silly, but I'm not that comfortable hearing about your
Okay. Ready to go to bed, Dorothy?
No, I'm going to wait up for Ma. She's out with Rocco.
Oh, Dorothy, Sophia will be fine. She's a grown woman. You can't wait up for her every night.
Oh, you're right. She's perfectly capable of taking care of herself. Hello?
Show, make room for Daddy.
Thanks, Ma.
Where are you going?
Get some air.
We got air in the house.
I like beer with my air. You wait up for me?
Everybody, look what I have. Where did you find the... Don't say it. Don't say it. What is our name?
This is Danny.
Dorothy, what in the world is that?
It's a flounder, Blanche. What do you think it is?
What's that, baby?
Sometimes life just isn't fair, kiddo.
I cannot talk about this anymore. I'm just going to call Yakamura and give him my decision.
I'm going to find Mangiacavallo. I wanted to see the tasty little morsel he let slip through his fingers.
Where's Doug?
Oh, he's checking our coats. Blanche, I want to thank you. You know, he's really a very nice guy.
Well, that's fine for you, but I don't know why I even came. This is the last time I ever date a doctor.
Well, what do you think?
Ma, this is a rundown old concession stand.
You can't live here.
We're not living here. We leased it.
It took every dime we had.
Thing takes an interest in you.
Hell yes. But there's another reason. Blanche, when you spend 6 months watching the person you love more than anybody else in the world slowly die, you wonder if you'll ever love again. After that, believe me.
Been working since 1904. Besides, they have a category for people over 80.
I think it's a terrific idea.
Maybe we ought to join.
We already did.
What did you say?
I said we already did.
Rose, I work all week. The last thing I want to do is walk 10 miles on a Saturday.
We won't be walking. We're going to sit. I'm so glad you're here. I don't have time to explain because I have to catch a plane. But this gentleman would like to talk to you. Merry Christmas.
Dr. Escobar, perhaps we should talk too. I'm Dr. Rooney from the Mayo Clinic. I'd like to fill you in on the particulars of this man's case.
Go.
He's a half hour late.
He probably got caught in traffic.
Ladies, I'm on a tight schedule. This is Miami. I've got funerals backed up.
I, Sophia Petrillo, being of sound mind and body, do hereby leave my daughter, Dorothy Zbornak, nothing. Sophia, it's a joke. I'm kidding, like when I said sound mind and...
First-class woman. You deserve to be treated in a first-class manner. Miles Weber, Oh, Mr. Weber, of course. Listen, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the restaurant's begun a new policy. We're now donating all our day-old pastries to the mission.
I'm not here for pastries.
Welcome to show business. What? Goodbye. Hi, Sophia. Later. Hi, girls. Oh, loved meeting your director friend yesterday.
And he died St. Olaf's loneliest man.
Is that the end of the story?
God, I hope so.
I don't get it.
Fred, let me put it this way. She is 16, she's scared, and she's carrying your grandchild.
Oh, Dorothy, what crossword puzzle are you doing?
Sunday, New York Times. In ink. Now might be a good time to let him down
A cab is waiting, Sven. Will you come?
Blanche, I've done some thinking. I could never make you happy.
If you could never make her happy, good luck with the lean, mean.
Within the next couple of months, they're going to have to do that.
You know, Dorothy, people think if you live to be my age, you should be grateful just to be alive. Well, that's not how it works. You need a reason to get up in the morning, and sometimes even after you find one, life...
A clue yet about Blanche versus Rose. And he said, now, Rue, I'd like you to read Blanche, and Betty, I'd like you to read Rose. And she said, oh, okay. And they heard us read. He heard us read. They heard us read. And the next thing I know...
Oh, you know, I think this is the best visit we've ever had.
I think it's because you've realized I'm a grown woman.
Well, I never thought the day would come, but we are finally the same age. Why don't you...
Blanche, I want to be here when the dynamite goes off. I want to ride the rocket with you.
Sophia, I just wonder if maybe Dorothy's right. Could this whole Granny thing be something I just talked myself into believing, some kind of childhood nonsense?
Dorothy doesn't understand about these things. You know, her father sent her...
Last night in kitchen about going to St. Gustav's, learning to come in out of the rain.
My very favorite doll.
Dorothy, let it go. Anyway, that trip changed her life, and now I must have courage to change mine. I'm going back with what I learned.
Really? Now, how would it look if they thought I was charging my own family rent?
Honest.
Don't you ever get a nosebleed from taking the high road all the time? Oh, this is such an upsetting day.
For both of us.
Why, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I ran into an old
thing.
Spill it, Ma.
I'm scared. I'll do anything you say.
Where is the jacket, Ma?
I gave it to the guy from the thrift shop.
You what?
Let's go. We've got to get down there before they sell it.
What's the big deal? It's only a this palette without using his hands. But I digress. He paints her portrait, and they make passionate love. She spends much of the next day in the shower with a loofah sponge, scrubbing his fingerprints off her body.
Guys, what are you two doing here? I thought you had a Spanish class tonight.
We do, but we're not going. We dropped out.
Well, what about your promotion at the counseling center?
Oh, I can just forget about that. Norwegians are notoriously bad at Spanish.
I guess that's why there were no herring tacos.
And it was tell us, Ernie, have you ever been married?
I'm divorced.
Oh, was the breakup caused by your drinking problem?
I don't have a drinking problem.
Were you cheating on your wife?
Is this a Barbara Walters special?
I guess the two of you want to get going.
Oh, great. It was a pleasure meeting you all. Good night now.
Have fun. Bye-bye.
Knock it off, Rose.
It's just that I've always dreamed about learning to tap dance, and I guess I'd get too gung-ho about things. When I was a child, I used to get overexcited and pet the cat too hard.
All the day and night time, hear me sigh.
Oh, Stanley Zbornak, I don't believe that you're trying to charm me.
Is it working?
I don't think so.
Then you leave me no choice. I'll have to pull out the big gun.
You're wasting your time, Stanley. I'm familiar with the big gun.
About
How do you know that?
when you reach my age, you get pretty good at spotting the 12 warning signs of death.
What are they?
Number 1, your children start visiting during the week. Number 2, your doctor won't let you post-date a check.
Hi, girls.
Oh, my gosh, have we missed you?
Rose, you look wonderful. Oh, come on, give me a big hug.
So happy to see you.
Oh, sweetheart.
Rose. It just must feel wonderful being cured.
Oh, I'm not cured.
What do you mean?
Oh, I made some nice hot cocoa.
Now, Rosa, tell us how you got up the courage to save that eagle.
It was just a bird.
Well, what about saving that there school bus, huh?
I just gave it directions.
Oh, yeah, but there was a bridge washed out on the road ahead.
Really, Blanche? And Sophia, I want to offer you a traditional Scandinavian wedding blessing. Gefleckter flaffen, flaffen flirfen, verfetter flingen, verflaffen.
I'm really touched. I'm also soaking wet. It's all right.
Is everyone all right? Oh, everyone's fine. We just had a little accident.
Well, we didn't have a little accident. Lily had a little accident.
Blanche, please. I'm sorry. I guess I'm not used to your stove.
Maybe you shouldn't have been cooking on it, darling. Well, somebody could have gotten hurt.
I said I was sorry. It was an accident.
Hi, girls. This is not what it looks like.
What they do is their business, but if I ever see your hand on Rose's behind, it'll kill me.
As a base.
Fine, we'll just cook in a fireplace and pee in the broom closet.
Please protect us and watch over us in this our hour of need.
Amen.
Lucy. Hi. Oh, get in here. I want you to meet my friends. This is Sophia and Dorothy and Rose.
Nice to meet you, Lucy.
Let me get along.
My son is an artist.
That's a nice way of saying he's a loser.
My son is not a loser. He happens to be very talented.
Yes, at taking advantage of poor young girls.
There, you see, you both agree. He does have talent.
Rose, face it. Your daughter moves faster than Marcus Allen.
I can't face it. But I think I'm too close. Did you have a poppy seed bagel for breakfast?
Will you put that thing down? What do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm making a video for my class at the junior college.
Oh, really? Gee, it sounds like fun.
Oh, I'm glad you think so, because I want you to be one of the stars.
Oh, Rose, I don't think so. No,
believe it. There's a married dead man in my bed.
Serves him right.
Ma.
He lied to her.
I don't know why they do that. Don't they know we'll sleep with him anyway?
Well, what am I going to do? I can't tell her her husband died in my bed.
Tell her you want to turn on the...
of cake, Uncle Angelo.
No, thank you.
I'll take a slice, darling.
No problem, sweetheart.
Hurry back, dumpling.
My feet have wings, barf bag.
Dorothy, please hang in there a little while longer and...
Do not have a date.
So what? I don't have a date either.
What's your point?
So, what do you want to do tonight?
I guess we could be constructive and clean our closets.
We could go to a movie.
As they say in St. Olaf, Helderbargen Moricus
You want to help us out here, Rose?
Well, there's really no English word for geflüffen. Loosely
And he had a pig named Brunhilde, and she won all the blue ribbons at all the county fairs. Well, Niels also had a daughter named Fricka, and she won red ribbons, usually as runner-up to the pig.
Does this story have a point?
You asked that at just the right time. Anyway.
But not for me. For me, in my mind, they'll always be here.
Oh, nay.
Way. Otherwise, it'll just end up coming between the three of us. So now tell us, which one of us is it going to be? Dorothy here, or Rose, or a woman whose breasts you once described as perfect champagne glass-sized orbs of dancing loveliness?
Blanche, I did not say that.
Not come until tomorrow.
I know.
Oh, Dorothy, could I please borrow your diamond ring and your pearl necklace and your jade bracelet?
Are you planning to come back?
Sometime tomorrow morning.
Where are you going?
Oh, out to dinner with Jason, the director of our community theater. He's considering me for the role of Lady Macbeth.
Harry, he used to walk to school with me every day on a little leash I made out of kite string. Well, one day we were about to cross the bridge down near the schoolhouse, and Larry stopped dead in his tracks. No matter how I yanked on that leash, he just wouldn't move. Suddenly I heard this loud noise.
Beto, stand up and say, hello there. Oh, I know. You can give Miles one of those boudoir photographs. You know, where you pose for pictures in sexy lingerie?
Oh, I don't know. I'd feel cheap, like you.
Oh, Rose, come.
You have to find all the other things you are, all the other ways you please people. There's a lot more to you than you know.
You know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face looking back at me. Not all the time, just every now and then when the light's too bright or it's too early in the morning or late at night or I look...
Rose Nyland, I'm sorry to be getting in touch so late tonight. I hope I didn't wake you.
Oh, God.
One at a time, Blanche. Anyway, I just wanted to say I think you're still doing a terrific job.
In fact, I'm hoping her interviews go well so she can transfer to a college here and I can see her more often.
I was never close with any of my nieces. They all became nuns. It's hard to shop for a nun at Christmas.
Oh, my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
What?
A rat!
A rat?
It wasn't a rat. It was a cute little mouse.
It's a scary story, Rose.
Well, why don't they call me? I want to get this over and go home.
Rose, come here, honey. Come here, we need to talk.
What, Blanche?
Well, this is the kind of thing I tend to keep to myself, but I want you to know. I got tested too, so I know what you're going through.
Blanche, please, that's a stereotype.
Call it whatever you want. I'm just grateful it's true.
Isn't it great the way we're all getting along? And Michael and Lorraine didn't have...
Try it in the sink.
I guess everybody's a little jumpy about the banquet.
Yeah, except Blanche. You know, she could at least have the good taste to pretend that she can't sleep.
Well, she's probably nervous about running into Jake. You know, sometimes when people are under pressure...
What did you expect to happen?
I don't know. I just kept seeing those cartoon characters with the smoke coming out of their ears.
I don't see anything.
Listen, there's a great big old television set back in my bedroom. What do you say we go in there and turn it off?
Long as she's an idiot, I've got the perfect example. Dorothy was on her summer vacation looking for a part-time job. So she asks Rose to put her ad in the classifieds. Well, that was a mistake to begin with right away.
Rose, it is not here.
Look again, it has to be.
Rose, I have read every want ad in the paper. Mine is not here. Are you sure you dropped...
Hey! Rose, for the past half hour you've been humming jingle bells and yelling, hey. Now, why must you do that?
Because it's too hard to hum the hay.
Oh, boy, it is hella...
You've broken my heart. I'm ashamed to call you my grandson.
Now look what you've done. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Bridget, I am shocked at your behavior.
Why doesn't everybody just calm down? Bridget and Michael are adults. They went out. They had a great time.
It was nice. I wouldn't call it great.
Hello. Yes, this is Blanche, and how did you get this number? And better yet, why am I even talking to you? I don't like you. Matter of fact, I hate you. You can just tear up my number.
Actually, he's more a friend of Blanche's. We were just explaining to Merrill that there's no telling when Blanche will be back.
Oh, Lord, no. Oh, there's no use waiting around. You wouldn't like Blanche anyway.
She's not your type.
That's right, she isn't.
She's very...
Hey, go to Neiman Marcus sometime, see if they treat you any better. How we doing?
Honey, I don't think we've sold a thing.
I don't get it.
I'll give you $1 for these Elvis Presley salt and pepper shakers.
$1? I will have you know the day I bought these salt and pepper shakers at the Graceland gift shop. Water Lily, you've never done anything like this in your life. Now, this is important. For the love of Mother Earth and the love of Mother Nature, commit yourself to this, Blanche Devereaux. Isn't that exciting?
Caught a rerun of Flipper on cable, did you?
A particularly touching one.
I got it. We'll go and scalp them in front of the theater. Oh, come on, Rose. After what we went through to get them, the least we can do is break even. And believe me, whoever gets these tickets is going to be very grateful. Now, what do you say?
Oh, who cares what she has to say? I have been trying for 5 minutes to tell you about my meeting with Dean Tucker, and all you two can do is go
and presses until it's chased away by, you know what.
No, what, Rose? A highway patrolman?
Dorothy.
What?
A big belch.
You couldn't say belch. What is it, a Viking curse?
Well, it's not the nicest word in the world.
It can be so much fun. I will never forget mine. I was the most successful person there.
What? Blanche, didn't you go to school with that brilliant doctor who won the Nobel Prize?
Oh, yes, but she let her looks go to hell.
You do sound excited, Dorothy.
Well, I am, but mostly it's about seeing Trudy again.
Proud just to be running for city councilman. So good night, and remember my slogan, Gil Kessler for city councilman.
You call that a slogan? Easy on the arm, Dorothy. You break it, you pay for it.
Ma, you made that whole thing up. Now, what is your point?
That I made it up. It was a little lie that gave me a lot of pleasure. If Rose is happy and there was no harm done, let her have that.
You know something, Ma?
I'm in. Yes, Garfunkel?
The 88?
Yes.
Yes, just give us something on the beach. We'll be there on our honeymoon. Come on in, sweetheart. Door's open.
Am I missing something?
Proves what? Dallas diamond earrings? George was obviously feeling guilty about cheating on me with David's mother. David was telling the truth.
This is tough, Blanche. I know how you feel. I hate to say it, but Sal almost cheated on me once.
It's an ancient Scandinavian midnight snack.
I guess after a night of pillaging and raping, a Viking wants a little something to go with his cocoa.
Well, the smell got awful.
Yeah, just when you're about ready to throw up from the stench, that's when they're done. Who wants some? He committed suicide?
In a manner of speaking, he'd have died whether he'd been here or not.
I'm so glad. Not that he's dead.
I know. I just had to tell you, you had nothing to do with it.
Thank you.
And if he had to die...
I think it's time you told her, Clayton.
Told me what?
I wanted you to meet Doug for a very important reason.
Well, why?
Blanche, we're getting married.
Means something. A black rose means a family member is dying. A white carnation means a newborn is on the way. A dead rabbit means my husband knows, get out of town.
Knows what? She doesn't need that on her medal. She's on her mantle.
At this time, the awards committee would like to ask Agnes's dear friend and our favorite runner-up, Rose Nyland, to accept the award for her.
In what, Blanche? Dog years?
I'm Blanche. I'm Dorothy's roommate. Would you get the door?
Dorothy's told me a great deal about you.
Well, she seems to have left out.
Every year since I was married, I have slipped into my wedding dress and had my picture taken. George was always so proud of me for staying svelte, and I'm going to get into that dress this year, even if it kills me.
It's not you I'm worried about. The last time you went on a diet, you turned into that guy from Silence of the Lambs. You did everything but butter my
$20. You have Christmas dinner on me. Go on, go on.
I'll see you right after the first of the year, Mr. Thompson. And Happy New Year. All right, girls, I'm all ready to go.
Thanks for the money, lady.
Blanche, did you give Mr. Meyer money?
Yes, he's a starving artist.
This man is the owner of the...
Here it is, I found it.
You found what?
The lens, which I'm now going to rinse out in the solution that we have too much of.
Thank goodness you're here. I made up that ridiculous explanation, hoping I'd run into you. So you live here too?
Oh, well, I can't worry about that now.
Well, sure you can, honey. I'll help you. Food, clothing, shelter.
Oh, come on, it's not that serious.
Yes, it could be. Rose, you and I are in the same boat. If we miss a couple of paychecks, we are in big trouble.
Thank God I had the foresight to marry money.
Tramp.
Dorothy, he died. Boy, you smell good.
Get away from me.
No. You don't understand. Something wonderful has happened. In his will, Uncle Morris left us an apartment building jointly. We're partners. Don't you see, Dorothy? We'll be together, and we'll have a place of our own.
Here comes the beautiful bride.
Wow, look at you. You look perfect.
Thank you. Stanley, I'm a little scared.
I'm not. I just feel this is so...
Are you sure we're in the right place?
Mission Street Shelter for the indigent and homeless. This is where they said they sent the jacket.
Kind of drab, isn't it?
Blanche, it's a shelter, not the flagship of the Hilton chain.
Kind of reminds me of the shady...
You deserved it before going back to that high-tension dog-eat-dog pressure pit you work in.
Blanche, I run a miniature golf course. Your champagne, Miss Devereaux?
Oh, thank you, Walter. You will forgive me if this champagne has a little effect on me. Sometimes just having it sitting on the table sets my... Hi, y'all.
Oh, fabulous. Roy and Dale are back.
So, where are you two off to tonight?
Oh, that's a surprise. Wait a minute. Isn't that my silver locket in there?
Nice getting to know you, Goma. See you around.
What's all this about a surprise?
What do you think about that?
It's hard to tell, Blanche. We'd need to see both earrings on.
I brought it to help Rose and me win the bowling tournament this year.
You think you have a shot at the trophy? I thought the Nielsen twins were unbeatable.
Oh, I don't really care whether we win or not. I just like...
Maury took them to have them cleaned. Dorothy, I still can't believe it happened. I've never been so humiliated.
Ma, honey, there's no reason for you to be embarrassed. He plays tricks on everybody.
I'm talking about on my way home. My belt came loose in front of a construction site. Nobody whistled and 2 guys went home sick.
My little girl is going to have a baby by artificial insemination. I just can't bear to think about it. I'm just being silly, aren't I?
Fired.
Rose, we just did that part, honey.
Sorry, I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
Of course, we'll pay you for the rest of the week. Oh, Marguerite, I hope you understand.
I never been fired from any job.
We're really awfully sorry.
Well, you should be.
Had a wonderful day, and thanks to Dorothy's expert tips, I made enough money to buy more art supplies.
Dorothy, I want to see you in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, Ma, I'm a little busy.
Fine. I'll eat a bowl of chili and we'll talk later in your bedroom.
Coming, Ma. Have any talent for the talent show? The whole thing's going to be a disaster. I'll be the laughing stock of the ladies' auxiliary.
Would it help if I got Bob Hope to be our MC?
How are you going to get Bob Hope?
Easy. He's my father.
Babes. Chickens. More babes. Chicken babes. And finally, baby chickens. Rose, you're the returning champion, and that means you make the first selection. Off you go.
Well, Alex, as you know, I was raised in a rural...
I call my new act Sophia and Sophia. Get a load of this. Hi, Sophia. Oh, hello, Sophia. How are you feeling today? Oh, I got a little arthritis in my neck. I was wondering why my wrist was hurting.
It must have just been the excitement of the moment. But they said the only way to prevent the eruption was for me to crawl through their legs up the volcano while they gave me my birthday wax. Well, and you're not going to believe this. It turns out...
So, if any of you toe tappers have more than 30% blockage, we implore you to leave the dance floor at this time. All right now, let's let the dance marathon begin. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dorothy, I'm sorry about this misunderstanding.
I know. It's all right.
Okay, everybody, we're ready to serve the appetizers.
Come on, Frank, we're eating out on the lanai.
No, exactly.
For closure.
Stan, I'm confused. Is this true? Doc, we're both men. Let's not do this to each other. Stanley. Okay, I lied. But so what? You never have?
Only once, Stanley. The night I told you it was good for me, too.
And you said she didn't have a sense of humor.
The reason they were so expensive was he had used all imported meats and cheeses.
You know, that story still tickles me just as much as the first time Charlie told it to me.
It just amazes me how much you know about my life with Charlie.
Rose.
That is incredible. How did you know?
I heard him singing in the shower. He's the only man I ever knew who knows all the words to Send in the Clowns.
Rose, I owe you an apology.
You sure do.
You know.
I know.
Hello, Judas.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Yeah. Can be awkward.
I thought I could do it. I really did, and then I couldn't. You see, it would have been the first time since my husband died.
fine, Mrs. Petrillo.
100%?
100%.
Tip-top?
Tip-top.
Then, Mr. 100% tip-top, why the hell does she feel like hell?
Look, Ma.
Wait, I gotta hear this.
It could be functional.
Functional?
Mental.
Mental. Well, let me tell you something, Mr.
Same old Rose. Same old Rose.
Oh, anyway, he was a great entertainer. We thought for a while he was a great little dancer, too, till we discovered he had 2 left wings. He just shuffled along there. Oh, how he loved music, especially Gilbert and Sullivan. Oh, I think
Stuff to do. And no one likes me anyway.
You know, first of all, buddy boy, life is full of crappy stuff to do. It's everywhere, so you better get used to it. The president has crappy stuff to do. Second of all, your grandmother happens to like you. My mother likes you. She doesn't hit anyone.
How you feeling?
She's going to be just fine, only this time she's going to follow the doctor's orders.
What about you, Dorothy? You must be exhausted being here by yourself all night.
I wasn't alone. Stan came by and stayed with me, brought me food, held me, showed me that special part of himself.
Right there in the waiting room?
Earl, and used to get those terrible chest colds, and you'd whip up a batch of that homemade liniment to rub on my chest. Ooh, that was nasty stuff. Cod liver oil, garlic, petroleum jelly, parsley. I remember once I asked you, why parsley? You said... Blanche, please. How is she, Dr. Jew? Wallerstein.
Why don't you come see for yourselves?
Rose, honey.
I'd like to drink a toast to Sophia, whom I hope I can count on.
For what? Get your lips off, Harvey, and tell me what you want.
Since you mentioned it, I want you to do something for me. I want you to come over to my place tomorrow night.
Oh, what is it, your birthday?
Sophia, there aren't...
What am I doing up? I'm subbing for a teacher who was shot by a student. I need all the sleep I can get.
I used to sleep so well, I never even turned over. I'd wake up with a perfect hairdo. Charlie, on the other hand, moves.
Of course, with a man.
Is it Raymond again?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Raymond? Isn't he the guy you picked up at the grocery store?
I did not pick him up. He asked me if I could recommend a good coffee. And then I threw myself underneath his shopping cart.
Oh, I think he sounds...
Die for Clams Casino. What's your point?
I don't know.
I'm asking about Edna.
Edna?
Your wife. Oh, hey. I'm sorry. I guess I just can't take a hit.
Oh, girls, you're just in time. Where's Blanche?
Oh, she said to save her a seat. She saw a man smiling at her out in the hall. I thought you were lonely. I thought you needed me.
I did, and you were there just like always. I love you, pussycat. But hey, I got my own life to live. Adios.
Now, what are we going to do about Emily?
Dorothy, nobody can do a better job of raising this baby than we can.
Fine, fine. But if she's going to stay another couple of days, we better get some more diapers and some food.
I'm thawing some pork chops.
Honey, she only has 2 teeth. How's she supposed to eat a pork chop?
My Uncle Lester had only 1 tooth. And
Proud of you, Stan. Really proud.
That was a lovely thing you did.
You made me believe in Santa Claus again.
Me too. Oh, not me. I knew it was Stan all along.
After I walked out of here this afternoon, I realized that I'm more fortunate than a lot of people. Tomorrow I'm going to get the...
You'll just have to go on without me.
Go on without you. Honey, this is not a wagon train. This is the double date. It doesn't work that way. It's a both of us or nothing.
You'll just have to cancel your date, too.
Cancel cancel my date with Larry? Oh, Dorothy, how long have you been...
Now, excuse me, Becky. You take my arm. I'm going to lead you.
Now, Rose, you always had a terrible sense of direction. You take my arm. I know the way. It's 49 steps, right down this way. And watch out for the wad of gum on the 41st.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, this is nothing. Wait till you...
Tell us all about the big weekend.
And don't leave out a thing. I want you to start with the sweet nothings he whispered in your ear.
Well, okay. First, he said that I was a very attractive woman.
Yeah.
And then he said I was fun to be with.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, what if he doesn't come back? What if I've lost him? What if I turn into a lonely old spinster and never find love again?
Look, Garfield caught a fish. Oh, boy, there's just nothing like starting out the...
He says that.
Rose, do something.
Sold! Sorry, Dorothy, that's $500 for the Children's Hospital. I guess dreams really can come true.
One afternoon, I thought I saw Pat Sajak riding side saddle on a dolphin.
I'm gonna get something to eat.
Oh, yeah, good idea. There's that salad in the fridge. Sophia?
No, I have to finish this. Knit 1, purl 2.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I've decided the best thing for me is to go to a sperm bank and get artificially inseminated.
Why would you do something like this just to hurt me?
Mama, try to understand. I can't pass a carriage without looking in.
Something I've never told you girls. I spent the first 8 years of my life at the St. Olaf Orphanage. Gunter and Alma Nyland are my adoptive parents.
How come you never told us about this before?
Oh, I loved my parents so much, I really never think about it. But I sure did before I became their daughter. When I was at the orphanage,
I'm gonna pack.
Sophia, wait, isn't there anything we can do to make you stay?
Nothing, my mind's made up. I'm leaving in the morning.
Oh.
States.
Then he should know better.
This is...
Blanche Devereaux, it's a real pleasure, Mr. President. My, you do have a lot of Secret Service men, don't you?
Hi, Blanche.
Hi, fellas.
Thank you, Mrs. Devereaux. And, Mr. President, this is Dorothy Zbornak.
In the future, a simple, none of your business, Sophia, will suffice.
Tell me honestly, Blanche, do you have any reason to believe that Laszlo might be interested in you?
Well, just the fact that on numerous occasions he has referred to me as his greatest artistic inspiration ever, bar none.
Miss...
We used to have the most wonderful ones back home. I can remember sitting out under a big old tree with the Darcy triplets, Hank, Bo, and Dove, eating and talking and laughing. And then long towards the end of the meal, why the boys always got into a fight over who was going to get to lick the barbecue sauce from my fingertips and kiss away the little droplet of butter that always...
Good night, Ma. Thanks for everything.
I don't like this whole deal. Shady Pines, now, there's a home. Luxury suites, tennis tournaments. Want a massage? Dial 9. And the food, the filet mignon.
Oh, really, Ma? Shady Pines had filet mignon?
One. They'd throw it in the pit and make us fight for it.
Rose, if we can convince Pepe just to show up there and get knocked out, everybody will get what they want.
Well, what if he won't go along with that?
We'll talk him into it. There's no shame in taking a dive. In Sicily, it's a time-honored tradition.
Oh, she means in the sack.
Where's Sophia?
Oh, she and Gloria went shopping. They haven't come back yet.
Gloria seems like a lovely person.
She is a lovely person.
And she's sophisticated and worldly and wealthy and has never had a pimple in her life.
Now I have Dorothy and Blanche and Sophia to keep me warm. Not just on a cold winter's night, but all year long. Take care of them, God. If anything happened, I just...
Rose, thanks for the lovely prayer.
It's not for me. It's to lure that mud out of my room.
That's okay, I'll get him off.
Boy, Aunt Dorothy's certainly a grouch.
Oh, you couldn't sleep either, huh?
No, I guess it must be the knife in my back. My fault. I read to her as a child.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to the library in a few minutes. You want to come?
The library? That's a great idea. I just love libraries.
You do?
Oh, I've loved books since I was a child. Although I certainly did grow up around some ignorant people. Do you know what horrible thing the folks in my neck of...
You were saying. Mrs. Bornak?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just figured if I opened my mouth that the phone would start ringing. Anyway, but Well, Mrs. Claxton isn't going to have a funeral. She had no friends and no relatives.
Then we'll pop for her funeral.
Why?
To show the man upstairs that we have some regard for human life.
No. It's an old Sicilian custom. It's good luck to bury somebody you hate.
A toast.
Okay.
To finality and closure. To husbands being out of our lives and gone forever.
Dorothy!
No, wait, this is good. I mean, don't cry. Why are you crying?
Our husband...
Don't knock the novelty business, Snookums. Rubber dog poop and joy buzzers provided very nicely for you, the two kids.
And several stewardesses.
Stewardesses?
They adopted them. After Asian babies, they're the most popular.
You ended that sentence with a preposition just to break.
What would I do that for? Look, I know how to settle this. Let me tell you a story of the steamy South, a tale of deception and tragedy. Just a second, Uncle.
Ma, Jane, do you? I mean, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. You didn't tell your roommates that Pat was a woman, did you?
Well, they just assumed that Pat was your husband, and I wanted to make sure it was okay with you before I told them.
Oh, well, listen, Dorothy, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of who I am. Hey, you know your friend...
Hi, Ma.
Hi, Dorothy. Bye, Dorothy.
Ma, come back. I want to sit and have a little talk.
Why?
Oh, come on now. Would it hurt to spend regularly, bring home a paycheck, and support yourself?
Okay, wait a minute. What's this all about?
Michael, you are 30 years old. I want you to find your own place, cook your own food, and take responsibility for your life.
But Ma, that takes money.
That's where the job comes in.
Liked you. He'd hang around here all the time. He's a yutz. Who needs him around here?
Dorothy!
Oh, thank God you came when you did. I thought she was going to strangle me.
I take it you weren't able to...
We'll figure something.
Dorothy hates me.
Oh, Blanche, that's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. And I hate her right back double. Now get me some cream.
Morning, Dorothy. Blanche and I were just having some coffee. Would you care to join us?
Frankly, Rose, I would rather use Willie Nelson.
He's right. Salvador, open the door. We have a birthday party to go to.
To each other?
I'm not going to say one word to her unless she apologizes. That's the only reason I came over here.
And Angela, please, we're talking about family here. Won't you try to work it out? Do it for your favorite niece.
What's your cousin Graziella got to do with this?
I have packed my last suitcase.
You ready, Dorothy?
Ready, Freddy.
Dorothy, they know.
Oh. I'll be out in just a minute.
Okay.
Janet, it's so good to hear your voice, honey.
Ma, what are you doing?
Cooking. If I wait for you to take me to brunch, I'll starve to death.
Ma, you're making me feel guilty.
I know, it's Mother's Day.
Welcome to show business.
What? Goodbye.
Hi, Sophia.
Later.
Hi, girls. Oh, loved meeting your director friend yesterday.
Word means to a person in despair.
That is your gift, Rose, and I wouldn't take it lightly.
You're just saying that. I haven't added anything to the world.
Look, Rose, God doesn't make mistakes. We were all put on this planet for a purpose. Blanche, you're here to work in a museum so the
Girl's mouth water.
Oh, my God. That's her. I sure hope time has been good to Trudy. Good, not great. Oh, Trudy.
Dorothy!
I was happy to see you here tonight, Rose. I was starting to wonder how you felt about me. Rose, is there something wrong? You hardly said a word.
My looks.
No, I'd say that you were one of the prettiest friends.
One of?
The Blanche. The prettiest. What would you say about me?
Dorothy, come on.
I told you. You can tell me.
All right. Well,
John from Kenosha?
I'll bet you know a lot of Johns.
That's a good one.
I guess it must be regional humor.
No, we're all here for the big clothing convention.
oh, well, tell me, is leather big this year?
Well, it is with Carl. Yeah, as long as I don't have to pay extra.
You're firing me, aren't you?
Look, Marguerite, we think very highly of you as a person, but we're going to have to let you go. We just don't feel you're right for this job.
But you certainly did when you hired me.
Marguerite, you f***ed up my entire bottle of porcelana. Look at all these liver spots. I got more brown skin than the Temptations.
Ma, I'll get you another bottle. I wish you would at least try to get along with her.
I have tried to get along. Did I complain when I had to share my bed with her?
Yes.
Did I complain when she used my polygrip to fix the heel on her shoe?
That. I created an entire relationship in my imagination.
Oh, it wasn't in your imagination. There is something special between us. We appreciate each other. That's why you could help me see where I could do the most good. As a teaching priest.
Well, it's taken me a little while, but I
Perfect for it. And the best part is, he's going to have it displayed at his big show at the museum.
Blanche, I can't believe you're actually going through with this.
But of course I am, Rose. Laszlo is a world-famous sculptor. This is my opportunity to be immortalized forever in a classic work of art.
Devereaux, life is not fair. I should know. I'm 43 years old, and until today, I never even heard of 7B.
Well, I've known about it for some time. And as far as I'm concerned, you can go do it to yourself.
So when I turned 17, I told my father that I wanted to take acting lessons.
What did he say?
No.
Great story, Rose. But you know what? Hollywood's not a bad idea.
Well, what do you say?
your next cheesecake.
How dare she imply that I overeat? Makes me so mad. Oh, Don, we're out of Chips Ahoy. I'm going to get out of this girdle and go...
And as your leader, I must decree that the fault indeed lies with Nolan.
Well, since we're being honest, Dorothy, I have a question for you. You're supposed to be my best friend. Best friends are supposed to be able to confide.
Bugs at his place. Well, he didn't want to make a big deal of it. He said he could try to pass them off as shellfish and sell them out of the back of his trunk. But I thought it was a great story, and so did my boss. In fact, he's putting it on tonight's news.
Rose, please tell me you're kidding.
My boss said he wanted to expose Angelo's land.
And I wasn't even wearing underwear.
I was the one who stole the Montgomery Clift poster off her wall when she left for college.
Ma, what are you doing up?
Someone left the lock off my cage.
I wandered around and finally found...
Speaking of found, look what I found. Butterscotch.
Doesn't get much better than this.
But you can help me. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Frank.
Dorothy Zbornak, this was the most bizarre evening I've ever spent with a man.
Including the time with the highlight team from Nicaragua?
She said one man. That was the most bizarre evening she ever spent with a team.
Those sandwiches, I am starving.
They're bacon, lettuce, and potato. Take a while to warm up, but once I get going, I can turn your topsoil till the cows come home.
Rose, please.
Want to see some Polaroids of me in my tennis skirt?
Look, Rose, I'm flattered, and please no offense, but you're just not my type.
But Blanche will. My recipes. And eventually I'll catch the eye of some fat general with big sweat stains under his arms. And he'll force me to let out his uniforms and satisfy his ugly needs.
It sounds like Christmas with my ex-husband.
I don't know what...
आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला बबडी माझी पोळी तुझ्या गालावर पडते खळी तुला लावितो गलाडी गोडी रंगाना थोडी हाय काळी तुझं बबडी माझी पोळी तुझ्या गालावर पडते खळी तुला लावितो गलाडी गोडी रंगाना थोडी हाय काळी जावापासून भेटली मला चैन पडे ना गजीबाला जावापासून भेटली मला चैन पडे ना गजीबाला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला जानू दिसायला गपरी तुझ्या माग ही दुनिया सारी मी आता माग माग तुझ्या तुझातली गच्चीवरी जानू दिसायला गपरी तुझ्या माग ही दुनिया सारी मी आता माग माग तुझ्या तुझातली गच्चीवरी जो कोणी आला मधी ग आपल्या एका एकाला मी पळविला जो कोणी आला मधी ग आपल्या एका एकाला मी पळविला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला बसली गुपचूप घरी म्हणे मी माझ्या पप्पाची तरी लव्ह मॅरेज करून जानो तुला घेऊन जाईन घरी बसली गुपचूप घरी म्हणे मी माझ्या पप्पाची तरी लव्ह मॅरेज करून जानो तुला घेऊन जाईन घरी अक्षय नितीनचा नवीन तडगा जाऊन सांग तुझ्या बापाला अक्षय नितीनचा नवीन तडगा जाऊन सांग तुझ्या बापाला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला